Would you rather fail now or fail later? What's your choice? I'd rather fail now knowing I gave it my all, learned something new, and approach it next time with a better angle. But some people are too afraid to fail at all. You play it safe, stay comfortable, and wonder why nothing changes. You avoid the risk because you don't want to lose, but in doing so, you're already losing. You're staying in the black, avoiding the red, because discomfort is where change is born. I'd rather take the risk on myself and look at myself in the mirror and say that I tried than to never try at all. You see, the only real failure is in the failure to try. What's the worst thing that can happen? If you take the risk on yourself, will it kill you? Will you die? So what do? Surround yourself with risk takers, people who refuse to live average and will challenge you to take the risk on yourself. A study done by Entrepreneur magazine found that 70% of successful entrepreneurs attribute their growth to surrounding themselves with individuals who are willing to take bold risks and push boundaries. I used to be a full-time sales rep, going door to door, taking a risk on myself, knocking late at night just to make a sale. Almost had a gun pulled out on me, not knowing if the homeowner would let the dogs out or slam the door in my face. But I kept going. I kept taking the risk. Knocking on people's door and being rejected. What do you want? Would you like to have high-speed internet? No. Next door. Would you like to have high-speed internet, no contract, free installation, 360 Wi-Fi? No. Take a hike before I let the dogs out on you. Yes, sir. Next door. Would you like to have high-speed internet? No. Don't you see a sign that says no soliciting? Yes, I know it says no soliciting, but I'm hungry. How much are you paying right now for internet? $150 per month. Okay, cool. I can help you save $75 a month. Would you like to have fiber optic internet, high speed for $75 a month, no contracts, free installation, 360 Wi-Fi mesh network? You get 2 routers for free. Yes, that sounds interesting. Okay, cool. When are you available? Weekends or weekdays? Why do you ask that question? You do that to assume the sale. You always want to leave the ball on their court. Weekends. Okay, cool. Nice doing business with you. Have a great day. God bless you. Les Brown said that you've got to be hungry. Wanting something is not enough. You must hunger for it. Your motivation must be absolutely compelling in order to overcome the obstacles that will come your way. A majority of the houses that says no soliciting are the ones that want the service. When a Jacob said, I will not let you go until you bless me, he spoke it. He was determined to not let go so easily. He was willing to fight with God until daybreak. You've got to be hungry. When your sales pipeline is running dry, do you abandon your tactics or do you adjust your outreach strategy? When your customer acquisition cost spikes and sales aren't meeting projection, do you shut down your campaigns? When you're driving on the road and your gas tank is on E and you're digging, trying to look for quarters to put gas in your tank, not knowing how you are going to make it home, behind on bills, robbing Peter to pay Paul. When you're showing up for this and showing up for that, when you launch the product and you share it with your audience and all you get is a thank you and a congratulations at the end. No one buys, no one does business with you. Do you quit? So what do you do about that? Huh? Blame the economy? The economy? What are you going to do? Take a plane ticket and go to Washington, D.C., march down Pennsylvania Avenue, and go to the White House and stand in front of the gate and complain about the economy? Huh? Or are you going to take control of your economy? Feeling dumb and stupid when everyone is in your ear telling you to go get a job and go back to work, driving back home not knowing what you are going to do, behind on bills, and it takes a lot of courage to really get into entrepreneurship, because it takes a lot of reprogramming, a lot of debugging, okay, faulty lies and beliefs that were inculcated in your brain. At times, you need to unlearn to learn, because there's a lot of junk that was programmed in our minds. We've been trained to think a certain way, act a certain way, and carry limiting beliefs. Once you realize that the only limits that exist are the ones that you place on yourself, you start to lower the volume on the voices that are speaking in your ear. People that all they can do and talk about is how negative things are. You can't even tell them what you're working on, because they don't have the mental bandwidth and capacity to think big. They will discourage you and not permit you to move forward toward your dreams. You need to start to change the channel and learn beliefs and build your self-image. Start listening to educational messages. Read books on a daily basis to begin to recondition your mind to unlearn to learn again. Repetition is the key to ingraining a new belief in your subconscious mind until it's planted and rooted enough so that your body can act it out and act upon it. You know, most people only do things one time, and that's it. They read a book one time and think that they've learned everything that was in the book. That's not how it works. You might want to reread it again, silly, because you might see something that you didn't see before. Do you know how many times it takes to alter a limiting belief? Studies show that it takes 21 days for a new habit to form through repetition. It's not just a one-time shot. There's no shortcuts to this. That's why you need to build new beliefs through repetition. Coach Richie, why did you label yourself the #1 bestseller on your first book? I didn't do it for you. I didn't do it for you to buy my book. I did it for myself, so that I can start to see myself in a different way. I don't look at myself the same way now. I don't look at myself as someone who used to stutter, take speech classes, and ride the short bus to school, because I couldn't grasp concepts and think as quick as the other students in my class, feeling embarrassed because I needed extra time and having special treatment, because all my life I was taught to be average. It's called pre-manifestation. Some people call it fake it till you make it. I didn't do it for you. I did it for me, because there's a lot of junk that I was taught growing up in limiting beliefs that were ingrained in my subconscious mind. Richie, why are you charging $28 for your book and not $20? Because they programmed you to believe that a book is worth $20 or less. I'm unlearning to learn again. It's an offer. You either take it or leave it. However, someone is going to buy this book. First person that brought the book, I was amazed. I said to myself, I probably got lucky. Second person that brought the book, thought it was luck till I did it again. Third person that brought the book, third time's the charm. I said to myself, it worked. Yes. Now, how can I maximize my impact and market myself more better? What adjustments do I need to make now? You need to be willing to make adjustments. Your issue may be a marketing issue. The product is good, but you don't know how to market it. The problem may be that you're speaking to the wrong audience, or the issue may just be that the sales process is kind of funny and you need to alter it to make it more better and effective. I'm always making adjustments on how I can stand out more better and maximize my impact, because Gentiles come to your light, but kings come to the brightness of your rising. I looked at my website and said, man, Richie, you've got to make some adjustments. People won't take you seriously if you're wearing a Nike shirt. I needed a new headshot, something more professional. Now, when you visit my website, there's no Nike, just a clean, polished look. Everything looks more presentable. So when someone lands on my site, they'll say, yeah, he looks serious. There's times you're going to test some things out and unlearn to learn again. At times you're going to have to put yourself in a situation where you don't have a consistent paycheck coming in every Friday that is guaranteed, because you want to cash in on a lifestyle where you can create an opportunity for yourself in your future. Sleeping late, waking up early, it's going to cost. Spending money to invest when you don't even have the money, it's going to cost. When you're spending money on ads and marketing and you don't see the ROI, it's going to cost. Building a team when you think you got one, but in reality you don't, because they weren't really with you to begin with. They were just only in it for themselves. It's going to cost. That power to remain firm, that power to remain solid, that power not to bend under pressure and face disappointment, not having support, be lonely, losing friends that you thought were really with you, doubt yourself, become financially in debt, lose it all and still keep fighting. Nothing can resist a person with that kind of commitment. The just shall live by faith. Do you have the faith that this opportunity is going to work out? What new skill, what new concepts are you learning right now to build your faith? It doesn't matter what he or she said about you. What matters is what you say about yourself. I know what God told me. He told me that the righteous shall flourish like the palm tree and grow like a cedar in Lebanon. They are planted in the house of the Lord. They flourish in the courts of our God. It doesn't matter if you dropped out because life hit harder than the lessons. It doesn't matter if your business failed and you cried yourself to sleep wondering how you'll pay rent. It doesn't matter if you lead people by day and battle depression at night. It doesn't matter if you smile in public and break in private. It doesn't matter if the ones you loved walked away when you needed them the most. It doesn't matter if you've questioned your worth, your calling, or if you're even built for this. Because here's the truth. Leaders bleed too. Entrepreneurs break too. And the strongest ones are often the most unseen. But what matters is that you're still here, still building, still believing, still breathing. Even when the voice in your head says you're not enough, you show up anyway, even when no one sees the vision but you. You keep building anyway, even when your heart is tired and your hands are trembling. You lead anyway, because greatness isn't born in the light, it's born in the dark. That reminds me of the CEO of Starbucks, Howard Schultz. He grew up in the projects of Brooklyn. His dad lost his job after getting hurt, and they had nothing. No money, no insurance, no backup plan. Howard watched that pain and said, one day, I'm going to build something better. Years later, he worked for a small coffee company called Starbucks. He had a vision. What if coffee was more than just a drink? What if it was an experience? The owners didn't see it. They said no. So Howard took the risk. He left. He started to chase the vision that he wrote down. He started to chase the vision. His wife was pregnant. He didn't have much money. He got rejected over and over again by investors, but he kept going. Eventually, he raised enough money. He brought Starbucks and turned it into what we know today. He saw the gap in the marketplace and took the risk. And by taking that risk, he didn't just build a business. He changed the way the world experienced coffee. Now it's your turn. What gap are you ready to fill? And are you willing to take the risk to make it happen today?
Crowded. You gotta
got to be at the top.
God does not want you to faint in this season. God does not want you to faint in your faith, in his word, and what he has called you to do.